Aoashi, my latest obsession. Typically with these videos, I just talk about the series and my overall thoughts on it. Not many spoilers, if any. Today it will be that again, but I will say I am very passionate about this series. I am a person who didn't care about soccer at all, but Aoashi made me take a complete 180. Let me tell you about it. I am going to give a quick disclaimer though. I'm going to be talking about this series really from memory, and I am going to just give my thoughts and a quick rundown. Now, time for the synopsis. Ashito Aoi is a young aspiring soccer player from a backwater town in Japan, Aime, and he's our main character. His hopes of getting into a high school with a good soccer club are dashed when he causes an incident during a critical match for his team, which results in their loss and elimination from a tournament. Nevertheless, he catches the eye of someone important who happened to be visiting from Tokyo. Fukuda Tatsuya, a J-Youth League coach, he noticed something about Aoi in his first match. Aoi is super talented. He is playing in a game that determines if they move on in a certain tournament or not. He had all the goals for his team at this point, and it may seem like he is just getting all the goals simply because his teammates are passing it to him. And although that is true, Fukuda noticed something deeper than that. Aoi could notice every open spot on the field. I wouldn't say instantly, but darn near close to it. So we get a hint, even if it's just a little one, about Aoi's huge potential. So Fukuda invited Aoi to come try out for his team in Tokyo, meaning that Aoi would have to leave his current town. Sorry if I'm all over the place, by the way. Aoi comes from a family that isn't blessed with money. His mom and brother work, but at home, they do things such as preserving phone time so the bill won't go up. They even do the same thing with lights. So this makes Aoi just ponder how exactly he can try and help out his family when they struggle so much. So his goal is to become a soccer pro to take care of his mother and brother who have supported him all of his life. And a quick little sidebar, this is what makes this series so great to me. I'm not saying Blue Lock isn't great, okay, it has its own charm, but Aoshi just hits you with a lot of relatable shit. Aoi's mom has bought him cleats that he has been wearing since either the beginning of middle school or even before then. In the very beginning, when he was in this game, the one that he costed for his teammates, a player talked bad about his teammates in order to rattle him so he couldn't play as good. And Aoi didn't like that, but he could stomach it. Then, when the player on the opposing team talked about his mom and how awful it must be to have a mom that can't even pay for new cleats, I think this is what drove him to snap. Okay, no thinking. This is what drove him to snap. He could take bad talking of his teammates, but he could not take the disrespect towards his mother, who works day and night to provide for him. And I really commend him for this. Wow, I mean, that was a really crazy sidetrack there, but you get the point. Blue Lock does not deal with subjects like this. It's a great show. I want to be an egoist as well. I want to become the best striker this. But come on, dog. It's like Kuroko no Basket and Slam Dunk. Kuroko is cool. It's fun, but with crazy abilities and exaggerated moves, you can only go so far, in my opinion. When it comes to Aoi, I know for me and many others, the relatability is off the charts. Playing sports in middle school, check. My parents are either working or they don't have the money to come watch my games, check. But enough of this tangent, let's go more in depth with this series, without going in too deep, of course, for people who want to remain spoiler free. Aoi gets to go to Tokyo for the tryout for the soccer team with the help of his brother, so he can realize his dream for going pro. And long story short, it's hard for Aoi. At the tryouts, he struggles quite a bit because all of his life he had always been like the very best wherever he was. He was also a bit of a ball hog, so this whole playing with a team thing, especially those with talent on a level as his, would prove a bit difficult. But in the end, with waiting, we find out that he made the team, but that's really where I ended for the story part. Whatever you are looking for in a series, Aoshi has it. In this portion, I'm going to talk about a few of those reasons. First being the relationships, man. You may be thinking, Buddy is lame. This is a soccer anime. What the fuck? It's supposed to be about action and hype moments. Brother, I'm getting there soon. But let me cook. I've touched on Aoi's mother a bit earlier and their relationship. He is very grateful for everything that she has done for him, and that's real as hell. A lot of us can relate to Aoi and his mother's relationship. Whether you grew up in a single parent or a double parent household, we know the kinds of sacrifices that mothers will make for their kids. So seeing Aoi want to give her the easiest life possible really hits home for me and many other fans. Next, his relationship with his team. Aoi, when he first started playing soccer, his teammates hated him at a young age because of his selfish play. Until he got to middle school, his teammates allowed him to be himself. Their skills weren't up to par with his, but they were fine with that. They gave the ball to Aoi for 2 reasons. Aoi is fucking amazing at this sport. In his prefecture, he was the best player by far, so why wouldn't they give him the ball? And 2, he is just absolutely loved by all of his teammates. His energy, his personality, he is just someone that you would want to be around. It somewhat changes the more he progressed. He is naturally gifted, but when he moved to Tokyo to play for Esperion, that's the team that he tried out for, by the way, everyone around him has played the game and knows more about it than him. It was a bit more difficult to get these people to warm up to him, but they did eventually. Seeing all the hard work that he put in and his personality, he grew a lot and they respected this. He never relied on people, but when he got to Esperion, he learned that there was more to soccer than just scoring goals. He loved winning with his teammates, scoring goals, or just contributing to them. And lastly, brother, I know you have seen the majority of the videos on my channel, so you know where this is going. The romance, bro. In this show, it is very minuscule compared to everything else, but I think that Naohiko really did everything perfect in this regard. Aoi has one goal: to become a soccer pro. Nothing else is on his mind but soccer. But in comes Hana Ichijo. She is a recurring female character in this series, so to summarize who she is, she has been following Esperion for a while because she is Fukuda's younger sister. I believe the reason she is doing this and following soccer in the first place is because she fell in love with Fukuda. I don't mean so in a literal sense, but him as a soccer player. He was one of the very best players in the world after all. And I think that's true for all sports. For example, I know many people who have fallen in love with basketball is really from LeBron James or people like Stephen Curry. People have fallen in love with soccer for Messi or Ronaldo. They don't necessarily know a lot about the game, but they love it because these players got them into it and they're just so electrifying. Same with Hana. She isn't very knowledgeable about the game, but that got her into it. Hana has a deep knowledge of nutrition and she wants to become a sports surgeon. She uses this knowledge to make meal plans for Aoi because of a few reasons. She first met Aoi at his tryout for Esperion Youth, and it was there where she realized that she reminded him of her favorite player ever, Fukuda. So she warmed up to Aoi, and with time, the more she is around him and the more that she gets to know him and his story, she even begins wondering why she is feeling the way she does. Her chest gets tight and she is always thinking about him. She gets jealous when he talks to other girls, so it's obvious to us that she likes him. I think they handle this flawlessly. An anime about sports handling this many different subjects, fucking phenomenal. Okay, next, moving past the relationship portion, let's talk about the awesome moments. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't really like soccer until I started watching anime. Blue Lock made me a little interested, but this series is what really got me invested in soccer, bro. I mean, in soccer, I knew that there were goalies and people who tried to score, but that was it. My mind never really went as far as there being positions in this, which is dumb because it's a sport. Of course there are going to be positions, dog. This got me interested though. Spoilers coming for the anime if you haven't seen it and you want to see everything as a surprise, coming in 3, 2, 1. Aoi is a fullback, and this is someone who focuses on defense. They can do more sometimes, but their primary objective typically is to play defense. So you would think that this is boring as heck, right? Because, brother, Aoi has been a forward his whole life, but he learned that he was brought to this school to be a fullback, which was utterly shocking to him. But with time, he took this in stride because his end goal remains the same. He wants to go pro. He was made a fullback because of the way he sees the field. His impact on the game, playing only as a forward, would be wasted. Aoi playing as a defender helps the team in a multitude of ways. He helps set up goals for his teammates with his defense. He can see the entire field in a moment's notice. He can still score as well. He just has to make sure that he isn't leaving his team vulnerable on defense. Many people question why Fukuda would switch Aoi from forward, because up to this point when he switched, many games were won because of his abilities as a forward, scoring goals and setting up his teammates. But with time, the question was put to rest. but I ramble for a bit. More on the action. As I was saying, there are plenty of soccer players in this show, and each of them have their own strengths and playing styles. Some are a tier above and a tier below, of course. For the show, Aoi is on Esperion Youth's B team, which is still pretty good. To make it there, you have to have a pretty high skill level. It is very fun to watch the team Aoi is on and to see him and his teammates improve. The moments are amazing. I love Otomo, Tachibana, and Togashi, but when we see members of the A team, they steal the show. Yoshisune, for example, he plays on the A team for Esperion and leads the under 18th league in goals. He is a certified dog. So many characters, man. Kuribayashi, a high schooler that's playing the pro leagues, we hardly get any real chances to see him, but the aura that this man gives off in every scene, immaculate. He gets talked about like Gojo in this show. Everyone loves him. Everyone is trying to be like him. He plays so carefree and cool. You may be thinking, Pride is glazing the ever-loving shit out of this guy. And yes, what about it, brother? He deserves it. He deserves all the glaze. But yeah, and my final point about the series, Aoi may be one of my favorite MCs of all time, bro. I felt like I've liked him since the very beginning, but he has changed a lot. In the beginning, he was just a cocky kid who didn't really know much about competition beyond the scope of his own small town. But now he's playing in a city where everybody comes looking to play his team because his team is the best of the best. And I think that is really what makes this series top notch. Thank you for watching this video. If you love Aoashi, please leave a like, comment, let's talk about it. I need more people to talk about this series with. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.